Teaching Banjo is no introduction.
Yeah.
He writes white paper like the same way. That's pretty tough.
No, that was the day before.
Oh, the day before.
Voila.
Yeah, so I wrote this short email, like from our perspective, like how to gather us around, and what are the reasons. I'm sure everybody read it, but there was I really wanted to also highlight there the Fred Wilson from the Union Square Ventures, because I've been following him for a long time, and I think he's one of the few VCs. The Union Square Ventures, they understand what is going on, and they've made their like long-term strategic bets, I think, in the right direction. The more we have met people in the space and talked, I've been really surprised how, in fact, little understanding there is, like what is actually going on and what are the stakes. There's a lot of all kinds of
people and all kinds of ideas, and a lot of things happen too. So I think that he wrote really well.
He was saying there that our quote, his blog post from a month ago, so that
I think it's high time that political scientists, philosophers, economists, and historians
turn their attention to these new self-organizing and self-governing systems. And then it goes on that they might be already thinking about it, but I don't know about it,
and let me know if
there's something like this happening. But I think that this is exactly what we need to do, or this is the agenda that we set in New York, and it became very clear to me that this needs to be done, and I really think that with your help we can do it. So we set an agenda to do two things. First of all, that we could together work to better understand these new distributed network technologies. What are they? How do they work, and what do they make possible? And how? And this is like we did the preparation. We went through the Bitcoin white paper and the Ethereum white paper, and now we are like ready to take the next steps. Dick said that okay, he didn't understand. Making or trying to make. And some preliminary questions which are important to answer, that we can really articulate the claim better from the perspective of the technology, economy, politics and their histories. So the political question, like what is the political context of what we are going to do right now? What are the consequences of making these peer-to-peer value relations secure on the internet? Of open sourcing finance, like what is the politics there? Then there's the economic and historical question that
what kind of different economic value forms have there been? What kind of alternatives for coins and money are there? And Bob shared this very, very interesting book. I didn't have time to read it as much as I really wanted, but it was very interesting. Like for example, from the 16th century, what could we learn from the 16th century bills of exchange as the self-collateralizing contracts, kind of derivatives-based money market? How could we use that to think what is happening, what we are doing? And then there's the technological or practical question, like what is at stake in this technology and making it easily usable for everyone. Is it just a technology for payments, to make these peer-to-peer payments more efficiently, or does it perhaps allow new forms of sociality, new forms of rituality, new forms of opening, and this kind of an interval where new things becomes possible. And this is exactly the direction where we would like to push it. Okay, so this said, then I'll just run through quickly what we have been doing for the past month after New York and why. So Bob said that he had also read the state of the project, but didn't quite understand that what am I saying there and why. So we've been like in full concentration mode to become ready for the ICO, for this initial coin offering. And we understood that we really need to work on 5 things in order to get ready. I don't know, Jonathan, I'm sure, has followed what has been going on. So there was just 2 weeks ago, there was the Aragon coin offering. They raised 24.5 million in 25 minutes. 2 weeks before that, there was the Cosmos coin offering. They raised 16.8 million in a few minutes.
2 days ago, also Sanjay, StoreJ did the.
They did? Okay.
23 something.
Okay, so there's a lot of
800 users.
With 800. Yeah. Yeah, basically, I mean, and there are the number of participants in these coin offerings. It's from 800 to 3,000, basically. So not that much. And it's important that you understand this context. I really want that we work on these two, and these practical next steps towards our ICO during this weekend. So number one thing that we've been concentrating on that we have tried to build credibility around the technology. And this is really important for us because we are in fact coming out with a really big claim, like what is gravity and what it does, and what it is compared to this Ethereum, which is basically thought of as the state of the art, and why it's not enough, and why are we the team that is capable of taking this step. So it's not only you who are struggling with understanding it, but it's also the blockchain audience. They have difficulties in understanding that. What the hell are we doing this? What are we talking about? So for that, the white paper, the gravity white paper, the space white paper too, but the gravity especially. Then we've been released the first draft of the white paper. Then we've recruited first developers new core developers to work with the team, and we are now building the first modules of gravity. And the aim is that we would have three first models ready by the end of June. So this gives us a credibility around the technology. It's not just like a wiper but it's something actually there, code, and you can see what it does and how. So then the last thing around for this technology credibility is that we are organizing a big event in the first week of July with Marcus Miller, Nick Szabo, hopefully, Zuko Wilcox, Vinay Gupta is coming, and the hopefully the old elders of the project Sanadu, and it's going to be like a first serious Silicon Valley take on the future of the technology. because it's not really a Silicon Valley technology, but it's coming from elsewhere, and we are like bringing these hardcore Silicon Valley programmers, computer scientists with their knowledge to say that, hey, we gotta move beyond blockchain, and we do it through putting together the object capability. When it meets blockchain, then this magic starts to happen.
And also with a new way of operationalizing it, funding it, and organizing itself around it, that is not the old models that actually put a halt on what they were doing 20 years ago.
Exactly.
So the tension was back then already. They understand the tension, and we're proposing, hey, for commons, for knowledge, for the technology, we need these new financial / organizational models.
Yeah, which Bitcoin and Ethereum kind of helped us to understand and invent. So these like the technological credibility, and it includes also the space platform. So also the space white paper is now first draft is released. We have a really good candidate to become the platform tech lead, and we are concentrating on publishing on the medium like these use cases to show like what can you do with this platform through which you can launch easily these programmable organizations, programmable financial organizational arrangements. That what does it mean? What are the use cases? This event is really important part of that, so that we learn, get better in articulating it. And also there's another event early July then about this. So that's like the technological credibility. Then the second thing we've been concentrating on is we've been trying to create a really clear pitch which would answer the opportunity at the market now. And it is really, we think that it's these programmable organizations, or these programmable financial forms, programmable financial organizational arrangements, that we are the launch pad where people can easily start to do these. And this is
programmable, not just finance, but programmable economy as
Yeah.
a whole.
Yeah.
And that's the implication of this book.
So that will be they call the DAOs, like these DAO creation engines. We are basically a next generation DAO creation engine, and it will be the big thing during this autumn. And our timing is like perfect. We're one of the first, and we're definitely the most advanced and developed concept. I think it's going to be very good. Okay, then the third thing is that we've been trying to rebrand a little bit, or creating. We got some comments that your project is really great, but when I look at you at your website and your presence, you look naked. You look like you're not ready for this task. So we've been we've done for the last month a really serious rebranding, new website, new like a color palette. We have the gravity name, the space platform name, a little bit new names. The concept has been just polished, and we've tested it, and I think we've found a really good like a concept which resonates with the ICO audience. So that's something we've done with in the text, or in the document I sent. There is the links to the new website drafts, and it will be interesting to hear what you think about that too. I don't know if you have time to look at it. Yeah, well. Then the fourth thing is that we've been designing really sound economic token logic. So we are launching the token. Like, what is the economic logic? How does it incentivize the best people to participate, starting from the ICO and become partners of the project? It's a design question, and this is something I would like to run through with you also this weekend. Like, what do you think of our plan? How does is it sound enough? And then the last thing, the fifth thing, is we've prepared, and we are now ready to start. We have the materials, the new website, the new message, or the pitch. It's basically all the materials are pretty ready, and we are ready to start the grassroots momentum building and grassroots marketing, which means meetups, Reddit, Bitcoin talk, kind of social media presence. We are trying to start pushing out the message, and because we need this traction around us to go to the initial coin offering, and we are ready to